Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week. Everything's moving pretty well, and it's very humid outside on this back and biceps day. I mean, I kind of made the statement yesterday I thought it was going to rain. For a little while, I thought I was wrong, but turns out in the end, I was right. It started drizzling a little bit through the middle of the night, but nothing major. Just a couple lightning strikes, just a couple of hard rains, and it's leaving everything extra hot today. Extra hot, extra warmed up and ready to go. So I'm not even needing like a preemptive talk. I'm just wanting to launch straight into the left, try things a little differently today, see how things change when I just go full force into what's in front of me. So let's see it. Pull-ups are first, 9 reps for all 3 sets. Didn't manage it as effectively last time, so this time I'm looking to redeem myself, looking to get back into it. Ooh, very clean on that first set. Very clean. Give it a little bit of rest and rocket that same energy into those second sets. Momentum is the key word here. Momentum is what drives this continuous progress. Getting all 9 reps, it requires moving through the workout with a sense of like go, 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 just through and through and through and through and through. Stretched a little bit to try and keep that forward momentum that I had for first set, and really you just want to keep that. You want to keep the clarity of reps all the way through. That's what I'm working on, honing 9, because I want to move forward to the fated, the magical 10 reps for all 3 sets. It's a goal that we're getting closer and closer to, but we still got a slew of workouts that we got to get past first. So, momentum. Good reps there. Momentum was key there. Trying to, keep the speed of the reps adequate. Trying to make sure I didn't drop off or almost fall off the bar. Well, they got Eye of the Tiger playing. Or they did have Eye of the Tiger playing, which is not good for for the copyright claims on my YouTube channel. But for hyping me up, oh, it's the best music that there could possibly be. If you think of classic songs to hype you up, We Will Rock You, Eye of the Tiger, We're the Champions, like all those hype up songs, all those songs that you play at football games and stuff to kind of get the crowd moving, kind of get the classics flowing through. Those are prime lifting songs. Those are prime songs to pump you up. I mean, even though I don't subscribe to a lot of his methods, especially in a bodybuilding context, stuff like David Goggins, listening to Rocky for hours and hours and hours as he's working on smashing through records and stuff. That's a classic, and there's a meaning behind those songs that just breaks past everyone who hears them. So, with the Eye of the Tiger, with all that strength from the classics, prime my back, get our breathing ready, and gun the last 9 reps. Okay, we're getting cleaner and cleaner. We're getting better and better on there's the last couple dying reps on pull-ups. I'm liking where that's going. So the cool part about hammer curls is we've kind of completed a complete circle. or we're kind of come back to a complete circle when it comes to terms of like strength for this. Because I was doing 35s for 12s at one point, but I was really swinging it up. I was really using like body momentum in the wrong sense, not in the sense I was talking about earlier. Momentum to kind of like cheat the reps. But I've been really working on like strict all the way up and down for a bunch of workouts now. And so on the log, it looks like this upward progress, this flat line, and then a steep decline as I'm trying to work on my form. But then now it's slowly kind of come back up, and now it's even to where that drop was before. It's a really cool feeling. It's a really cool feeling knowing like, yeah, on a log, it's not going to show up. Graphs don't always show the full story of like progress, because there's something in between those graphs, in between the dip, which is form. And if you see my form, it's like continually going up. It has a steep decline, but then it goes way, way, way higher than it was before. So I'm very happy with that. I'm trying to do extra good form today to prove my points. Try to keep it as strict as possible for 12 reps. Nice first set, nicely done. Second set, the main goal, just keep it as smooth as before. Keep it as in tandem with those first couple reps where back was straight, just touching, right underneath the chest, the middle of chest. That's the best target area for hammer curls. They're starting to scream. The biceps are starting to yell back at me. That's a good sign. Okay, without too much of a rest period, I'm gonna go ahead and launch into this last set. I'm trying to keep it as clean and perfect as before. But, there is gonna be strain on this last one, for sure. I mean, my biceps are already screaming. Second set, you already know that third set is gonna be the nail in the coffin for this type of stuff. But preachers are later, and hammers, they're going pretty well for now. They're helping my brachialis pop out more than before. And I don't know, my biceps are starting to get solid, a lot tougher than what I've felt before. So I know it's the right direction. Okay, that's a wrap on those. Oh my gosh, I almost can't move them upward. That pump is insane from those. Now it's time for 180 for 8. Oh, is this seat already adjusted? Yeah, that's super nice. It's super nice always when you don't have to adjust and everything almost slides in perfectly. If it's like a puzzle piece. The weightlifting compass was pointed north. It was pointed upstairs because rows are a demon. They're a beast. Have you ever seen those videos where the people come up to professional bodybuilders, professional weightlifters, and ask them if you could only keep 10 exercises, what would you keep in there? A lot of times people will say rows because rows are so good for your back. The pull and the strain and the crunch, any type of row, chest supported, barbell, any type of thing that's pulling to your upper back. I mean, it's just natural, innate human strength. You think back, evolutionarily, we're constantly like pulling up things, we're constantly lifting up things. I mean, when you're lifting up boxes, you're essentially doing this big row. It's forearm strength, but it's also like trying to lift as much as possible. It's, you know, they say lift with your legs, lift with your back, because like, they say lift with your legs to get that extra core strength, but also it's like that lower back strength. That's why people will pull their lower backs when they're lifting heavy objects sometimes. They'll pull them and they'll be like, oh crap, my back, because it's back strength. Back strength is crucial for carrying, pulling, doing the most. And so for 180 for 8, we're wanting to have that under control, wanting to have that pulling motion as hard as we can. Much better sets than I've had in the past. I'm actually really happy with that. That was a lot better than I've done before. Okay. With the theme of this video being momentum, we got to move on quickly. We got to make sure the rest period is not taking up too much time. We got to make sure that the lift is ready for that delivery. The delivery of finesse, of control, of safety with this. I mean, I'm getting to the point where 180, like 5-6 workouts ago, it was a strain on my back. I could barely move it back. But then now, it's evolved. It's evolved to the point where my body's compensating. It's building those physical and mental calluses where it's like, okay, I know that you can pull this and hold this at the very back part of your back, the very like, you know, midpoint of where your abs and stuff are, and you can hold it there. And that's what I'm wanting to do. I'm wanting to get as much strain, as much pull on the back as possible. You know, I really want that tension, that thin tension that almost feels like you can cut it with scissors, like a little string, a little muscle fiber string at the top that you can almost just cut once you get to the top of it, because it's so dense. There's so much pressure in it that all it takes is just a little bit of I mean, you can almost like flick my back, and then I would be like, oh, and I'd crash out. I'd completely give out because that tension is so strong. So find that tension, find that rhythm, find that groove. Tension's there. The tension's there, homies. We're right on that line. This is going to do well transitioning into lat pull downs. You know, I've wondered if it would be a good idea for a video. I mean, looking at it, all the trees, looking at all of the ethereal fog kind of surrounding everything, the ambiance. You know, so interesting. It makes you kind of want to write an intro of a book, like the fog parsed over the trees, like, you know, that type of like of what's the word I'm looking for? Of, I guess, scenery that's just so appealing. Looking out into that, it's got me inspired. What if for a video, I go to like, not a playground, not like a kiddie sense, but an actual jungle gym? Is there a future where I get so successful, so able to experiment with this that I can go to a literal jungle with like wooden weightlifting equipment? Would that be cool? Would that be interesting? Would, you know, splinters from a plate be a real worry if you're working out, you know, in a more natural sense without the welded iron of machines? I don't know. That'd be an interesting thing to experiment with, to kind of see for myself. Add it to the bucket list. It's on there for sure to see one day in the future. That's it for rows. Good finisher there. Now lat pull downs, we'll be fighting for that strain the exact same way. Well, luckily, whoever set this one up also matched my vibe and also made it the exact same weight as I do with these 2 plates. Super nice. Whoever was doing this, he had the miles per hour grind set, the miles per hour mindset. Respect to that lady or that dude, the dude or dudette who made this kind of happen. That's a little bit low. I need to adjust this so I can actually reach the handles. That's the key here. So you're not like straining yourself to reach for it. You're putting, all your energy not into the grip setup, but in actually what you're pulling down. So for these, we're searching for 12 reps as well. This one we're kind of working a little bit still left. It's not perfected. It's not getting to that perfect level like 180 on roses. This requires a little bit more lat endurance of sorts from, them getting drained partially during pull-ups, but a pure focus on the lat, a pure focus on the strength pulling down, and I'm ready for it. Getting better. There's not much else to say other than, a medium amount of resistance, a medium amount of difficulty. So I realized, looking back at my log, why it felt like only a medium amount of work and a good amount of pull that I had on it. It's because I'm not doing 180 at all. I was nowhere near 2 plates. I added an extra 25 on each side, so we're actually at 230. Yeah, definitely a ways off from what I thought, but that's okay. It means it's going to be a little bit of extra strain. Last time I did it for 10 reps, so hopefully seeking 11 here. Hopefully seeking maybe that warm up helped out a little bit, going a little bit lighter. It's definitely going to make this next set feel a little heavier, but hopefully we can have it in control. Oh man, that warm-up definitely didn't make it any easier. It made it feel a lot heavier once I did it, so not complete strain, but now that I'm remembering that I did 230 last time, it was better than what I previously did. Before you really understand the depth of your body, when you're just a young hatchling in the gym, when you're just kind of experimenting for the first time, getting to know the layout, getting to know, okay, this machine is called a chest machine, so that makes sense. My chest is right here. This one is an ab machine. I'm crunching over, oh, that makes sense. I know my abs. There's certain body parts where you already know. You already, like, culturally, they're more emphasized than others. But there's other things like rear delts, lats, like stuff like that. I didn't know that before. I've never heard of these different, muscles that aren't really expressed as much in society. Like, we know lifting, like, oh, that's a bicep movement, a bicep curl. A curl, it targets your biceps. Like, that's the depth of knowledge you know when you start. So, before they were called lat pull downs, they were affectionately known to me as, or affectionately called by me as hip hip hoorays. That's cringe, but at the same time, you gotta make it fun somehow. You gotta add a new name, a new dimension to the workout. And I always called them hip hip hoorays in my head because you're like, hip hip hooray. Like, it's so stupid that was the movement. You sometimes, like, if you don't really understand what you're doing, you can kind of apply some emotion to it. It looks like I'm celebrating, like, over and over and over again. So hip hip hoorays is what they were called. So last set of hip hip hoorays, guys. It's been a while since I remembered that, but that was that's some type of gym nostalgia that maybe you don't want to delve back up, but it's interesting for video's sake. 3 more. The pull is going to be harder and harder and harder, but we're on our way to getting there eventually. We're on our way to moving up in weight. It's always a struggle, but we'll get there. 11 reps, not great form, but great weight movement. So 70 for 12 is the aim here on bicep curls. Really trying to work on those lengthened partials the last 2 sets. I mean, the first set, it's really just kind of testing the limits, testing the strain, getting your biceps used to everything. And then the last 2 sets are lengthened partials, just feeling at the bottom bit of that bicep. At least that's where I feel it the most. I need to look more into what actually is activated during preachers, but preachers have been ride or die. They've been by me for a very long time, and so I'm ready for them. I'm ready for that level of strain, that level of push in my biceps, especially after the good hammer curl set. I'm proud of the hammer curl set, so I know this is going to be a good one as well. Okay, pretty sure that was 12. I'll need to go back and check, but pretty sure that first set was 12. And now all I gotta do left is lengthened partials. 12 more. Now is the time when we fry it. We fry it like on a pan, like on the video the other day. Shout out, by the way, to Sam for hopping on the Discord call. That was fun, bro. That was a good call. I liked all the questions. Out in the Discord, just shameless plug for just a second. I might try and do more premieres in the future with YouTube comments and stuff. My premiere button was not working when I had my channel anniversary the other day, but I'm always available to talk on the Discord. I might schedule calls from time to time as we grow our member base just up a little bit. But yeah, you can talk to me one-on-one for free, no charge or anything. I'm always down to answer questions. Like, why would you put a price tag on that? Answering gym questions in the building community. That's fun. But yeah, that was really fun yesterday. I had a good time with that, and definitely motivating for today's lift, knowing some of the questions, knowing some of the future of the channel. But that's besides the point. I was talking about the frying example, the frying analogy, because cooking the chicken the other day, you see it all like, it's full, it's pink, it's all pumped up, it's ready, and then by the end it's, their little shriveled up cubes that are completely pumped up, that are completely, full of juice. It's almost like the sweat. I feel like an overcooked chicken right now. I'm getting to that point where like everything's exhausted, everything's completely fried, but that's the point. That's the good part of this. And yeah, biceps. I'm talking a little bit early before you're actually going to see the ugly lifting faces out of me, because biceps, they're one that gets fried quickly. Good lengthened partials on that first one. One more to go. Spaced out pretty hard when I was in the rest period, so it went a little long, but I don't know, my mind's kind of racing today. My mind's kind of like slowly starting to come awake, which is good before class. I need that kind of mental strain, that kind of mental, almost mentally flexing my muscles in the middle of the gym to kind of get my brain awake and ready for conversations, ready for writing, ready for, all the normal stuff that a college class may bring. But okay, lengthen partials all the way, fry those biceps so there's nothing left, and then rear delt spool. sign us off until we get to some talking. So let's see it. Let's see all 12 good reps, and then maybe try to go for even a couple more. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my gosh. Whew. Oh, that was sad. 12 was like right there at the limit. I even hit the lengthened parcels for like those last 2 reps. That was the strength ceiling. Whew. I don't even know how to feel about that. I was pushing my limits to the extreme. Well, I'm tired. I'm tired of 70s. I'm tired of the rear delt rows that never seem to end. The grip that always seems to give out when I'm doing 70s for 10. I've been doing it for a long time, whether it's been machine, whether it's been dumbbells, and I'm ready for a change. I think I'm ready to move up in weight. I want to move up, and I want to prove once and for all, for good, that 70s are done. I've had my trials and tribulations with it. This is a good conclusion to the video because I'm done. I'm tired with them. So today, no talking on this last one. Completely silent reps. I want to put all of my energy, all my breath into 70 and get rid of it. Bury it. Gotta bury it. Okay, that's it. That's it. I don't want to see those 70s ever again. I want to put them away. Forget it. Doesn't matter if it needs ego lifting. Doesn't matter if it needs anything. I want to cream my rear delts. Absolutely smash them into the ground. I'd say really, really good one today. I was looking back through some of the footage, and even though like some of those latter reps of rear delt rows didn't feel like I was pulling the best, man, you look back at that footage and you realize it was this weird placebo effect that was taking hold, because I was really fully stretching my back. I really have control of the 70s. Maybe it's just like this mental gap that I need to push out of myself, but 75s are definitely incoming. I'm going to make a note in my log, which it's going to be interesting. I love my log, and I'm hoping that like someday in the future when I get an actual camera and actually elevate my content a little bit, I'll actually be able to show you guys the log in real time, because when I use my phone is majority of what I'm doing with it. So I'll get to use my log for like timers and different stuff. I've talked about gains in the past, how much I love it, but this is not about the app. What the car talk is about today is momentum and effort and being seen. Like I kind of had this thought, because I'm gonna ask this openly to you guys. Have you ever been in that place where you've succeeded? You've put in that effort. You've grinded when no one else has seen you. You've made that difference. You've put in that effort, and you get to this top place, and you get to this place of success, and people go, "Oh, that was light work. You were handed that. You didn't have to work for that. Like, you haven't had to work." Have you been in that place where you've gotten a really good grade in school? You've gotten an A. You grinded on that paper. You worked through it. You had all this stuff. It was hard, but then eventually it started coming naturally because you put in that effort. You studied for that history exam. You did flashcards over those notes. You sat down and you put in that extra backbone. And then at the end of the day, people are like, "Oh, but you're like the smart kid. You breezed through that. You did that easy." Have you ever been in that place when you're in the gym and you're really like digging deep on a final rep? You're really like pushing it up all the way, and you like push through all the way, and you've been going regularly. You've been putting in those reps, that extra effort, that grind, and then someone is just like, "Ah, that's just genetics. I mean, look at your chest. It's so much bigger than everyone else's. It's you were handed that. You don't have the best diet. You don't have this all this other stuff." You have these people looking down on you. They don't believe the extra work that goes in. And, that's soul crushing, because when you don't put in that extra work, when you don't reach those heights, that's what's expected. People are just like, I mean, yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I wouldn't do that same thing either. But then when you reach these, these stratospheric highs that you really worked hard to achieve, not many people recognize that. Unless you get to this level that's untouchable, and this level that really pulls on people's heartstrings to such a degree, unless you have these people that are connected to you, you have the world looking down as if, "Oh, they didn't really like make that all on their own. They had help. They pushed through all this stuff, and they were given a handout. They were given this free pass." Some people will look at you and say that you never worked hard for what you have. Some people look at college as like this natural next step. No, it took ever to get into college. You had to write all these essays, these exams to get in. You had to, go on visits. You had to do all this stuff. No one's going to see that back, effort, because when they ask you what your future plans are and you say go into college, they just nod, because that's what culture tells us. That's what society tells us. That's like a good next step. And if you say like you're moving into a trade or something, people will be like, that's the next step. They're not going to see those hours of work you put into like, laboring with wood, like learning how to do like HVAC or become an electrician or do all this other stuff. Like, it's not, I don't get it. People, you have to build a thick skin, because the reality that I've come to know, and that I feel like a lot of people, if you go searching, you'll find, is that people will find a way to look down on you, or people will find a way to discredit your accomplishments, no matter what. Like, it's just a given. There's always going to be haters out there. There's always going to be people who don't accept that, yeah, you're a hard worker. They're going to try to find some other excuse for you. Even if there's no other excuse, even if you have an excuse, even if you don't have an excuse, people are always going to fault you way harder than they are uplifting your success. You have to embrace that. That is the only way to overcome that. You have to realize, okay, I don't need that. I'm going to uplift the people around me. I'm going to grind and work with those who want to get better. I'm going to celebrate people's wins. You have to be someone who celebrates wins. You cannot let jealousy override you. You cannot let this sense of like, I'm not good enough override what you're doing. You can't let people say, oh, you're not a hard worker, you were handed this. Yes, my accomplishments are because of other people. They help push me through that. Yes, I am a very privileged, person in a very privileged position. It is a monumental privilege to be able to wake up and go to the gym every day. It is a privilege to get this education. It is a privilege to do all this different stuff. At the same time, I am working for this. I am putting my lifeline into this, just like you guys are. Everyone has those things in their life that they're putting their backbone into, and no one's going to see that work. So my message to you is to not even expect anything. Don't go in this for the ego. Don't go in this trying to show someone up. Don't go in this like, I'm going to get revenge on all these people who wronged me, all these people who looked down on me. I'm going to prove people wrong. There's an inherent part of our humanistic approach where we want to prove people wrong. We want to show people we can do more than that. But it's not a showcase. You need to accept people are going to look down on you no matter what. So once you like accept that hard reality of life, you can be like, okay, how about this small group of people that appreciates my accomplishment? I hang out with them. How about this small group of people that's grinding together? I uplift that and I put my energy into that. How about instead of looking at this outside world, looking at all the negatives, looking at the glass half empties, looking at, this society that will say I never work hard, how about I know I'm a hard worker. I know I'm putting in those putting in those reps, putting in the grind, putting in everything I have, my heart and soul into this for that momentum that I talked about. I'm working on this momentum, driving up, and it is for me. I had a community post the other day. I had a community post that said, who do you fight for? And overwhelmingly, it was about 65%, maybe last time I checked, people said, I fight for myself. On surface level, people are like, wow, I can't believe that's so selfish. The people that look down on that, people are like, wow, I can't believe everyone's, so self-absorbed, this Americanized, there's no nationalism, there's no like greater good pushing forward. There's no one working for that. I don't see it like that. I see so much community in the fact that people are working on themselves and they're connecting with other people who are working on themselves as well. There's this flip side to all of this negativity where people are grinding together. They realize, okay, I might not be able to hang out with you all the time. I might not be able to, create this giant group. I might, not be able to spread my wings that far. But guess what? You don't really need that because we're all in this together. We all have individual experiences and we need to celebrate that. We need to celebrate the fact that we're not this hive mind. We're different. We're people. We're human. We have all these different experiences and stuff. And let's find the threads between that. Let's find this uniting factor of wanting to get better together. Push forward that momentum. Keep it real. Keep yourself working hard. I believe in you. You are working hard. Don't let others discredit you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.